So you're sitting at home one day, minding your own business, and you get a phone call from someone claiming to be from the IRS. The caller says that you owe back taxes, and the IRS is going to send the police to arrest you unless you pull out your credit card and pay them right now, over the phone. You don't want any problems with the IRS, but how do you know if this caller is legit? In today's video, I'm going to break down some of the tax scams that crooks are using to steal your cash. The IRS Dirty Dozen tax scams. That's the topic of today's video. On the other side of the break.
1-877 Levy-King, L-E-V-Y Levy-King, 1-877 Levy-King, LEVY-KING.com.
Owe back taxes to the IRS? Call the Levy-King, he's the best. 877 Levy-King, LEVY-KING.com.
1-877 Levy-King, LEVY-KING.com.
What's up, guys? Corey Hankerson here from Legacy Tax, and they call me the Levy King because I've helped thousands of clients with unfiled returns, back taxes, tax liens, and that's right, IRS levies. If the IRS took your check, the Levy King will get it back. 1-877 Levy-King, LevyKing.com. I'm also the author of End the Tax Nightmare, Insider Secrets to Beat the IRS and Reduce Your Tax Debt. Inside the book, I'll show you how to stop IRS liens, levies, and garnishments without paying the tax in full. How to set up the payment plan that you want, not the one that they want. And how to potentially settle your tax debt for less than you actually owe. My book has been a top seller on Amazon for years, and you can buy it right now for $19.99. But I want to give you a copy of the book absolutely free. Just go over to my website, www.endthetaxnightmare.com, enter your name and your email, and I'll send you a copy right away. No charge, not even shipping, totally free. Now, before we go any further with the video, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram. Okay, let's dive into today's content. Each year, the government publishes a list of common tax scams that crooks are using to separate you from your hard-earned cash. According to the IRS, these scams tend to rise during tax season or during times of crisis, and scam artists are using the current pandemic to try and steal money and information from honest taxpayers. This list is published to help raise awareness and help everyone stay safe. So here we go, the Dirty Dozen. Number one is phishing. Taxpayers should be alert to potential fake emails or websites looking to steal your personal information. The IRS is never going to initiate contact with you via an email about a tax bill, a refund, or a stimulus payment. So don't click on links claiming to be from the IRS. Be wary of emails and websites. They may be nothing more than scams to steal your personal information, including your password and your account numbers. Phishing scams like these they use keywords like coronavirus and COVID-19 and stimulus in various ways. The schemes are actively playing on your fear and your fear of the unknown and of the coronavirus and the election and all those things. So click on the link below for more information from the IRS website about COVID-19 fraud and other financial schemes. Number two is fake charities. Criminals frequently exploit natural disasters and other situations, such as the current COVID-19 pandemic, by setting up fake charities to steal from well-intentioned people trying to help in times of need. What they usually do is start with unsolicited contact. They'll reach out to you by telephone, text, or social media, email, or in person using a variety of tactics. Bogus websites use names that sound like legit charities to trick people to send money or provide their personal information. They may even claim to be working on behalf of the IRS to help victims file casualty loss claims and get tax refunds. You can find the names of real charities with the search tool on irs.gov. Link in the description below. Number three is threatening impersonator phone calls. IRS impersonation scams come in many forms. This is when a criminal calls you claiming to be with the IRS and uses fear and intimidation to get you to send them money. I've heard of scam calls where the taxpayer is threatened with arrest, deportation, or license revocation if the victim doesn't pay a bogus tax bill over the phone. It used to be the case that the IRS would never contact you by phone, but they do currently use private debt collection agencies to collect debt over the phone now. This has caused a lot of confusion. You should know that if your case has been legitimately referred to one of these private firms, you should have received a letter directly from the government before being contacted by the private company. You should also know that you have the right to have your case transferred back to the IRS. Number 4 is social media scams. Social media scams frequently use events like COVID-19 to get you to share information online. The scammers have impersonated IRS reps on various social media sites and convinced taxpayers to click on links that appear to be from the government. But once you click on that link, the scammers install malware on your phone or your computer, which corrupts your device and steals your personal information. Number 5 is stimulus or tax refund theft. In recent years, the IRS has made a lot of progress in protecting your tax refund from theft. But in 2020, we've seen a new kind of theft. That is stealing your stimulus check. In both of these examples, crooks steal your information and file a bogus tax return or a bogus claim for your stimulus check, and then your money would then just go to them. They got your money. Number 6 is senior fraud. As senior citizens have become more and more comfortable with doing stuff online, the scammers have stepped up their efforts to rob them online. Phishing scams linked to COVID-19 has been a major threat this filing season. Seniors need to be alert for a continuing surge of fake emails, text messages, websites, and social media attempts to steal their personal information. Number 7 is scams that target non-English speakers. IRS impersonators and other scammers also target groups with limited English proficiency. These scams are also often threatening in nature. I've heard of scams where the taxpayer receives a telephone call from someone pretending to be from the IRS, threatening revocation of citizenship status. Taxpayers should ignore these threats and not engage with the scammers. Number 8 is dishonest tax pros. Selecting the right person to do your taxes is an important decision. Most tax professionals provide honest, high-quality service, but dishonest preparers pop up every single filing season. They commit fraud and harm innocent taxpayers and convince them into taking illegal deductions or doing illegal things, which they later regret. Taxpayers should avoid so-called ghost preparers who expose their clients to potentially serious filing mistakes as well as tax fraud and losing their refund. With many professionals impacted by COVID-19, their offices are closed, so it's more difficult to select a credible preparer. Ghost preparers don't sign the tax returns they prepare. They will print the return and tell you to sign it and mail it to the IRS yourself. For e-filed returns, the ghost preparer will prepare but not digitally sign as the paid preparer. By law, anyone who is paid to prepare or assist you in preparing a tax return must have a preparer tax identification number or PTIN. Paid preparers must sign and include their PTIN on returns. The unscrupulous preparers may also target those without a filing requirement, and so they may not do a refund to do these bogus returns. Taxpayers should avoid using preparers who ask them to sign a blank return or a return where the preparer doesn't sign and put his own information on there. You're ultimately responsible for the accuracy of your own tax return, regardless of who's preparing it. So you need to go to a special page on irs.gov and get tips on how to choose a good preparer. Link in the description below. Number 9 is offer and compromise mills. Not all tax resolution firms are created equally. Most do good work, but some will take your cash and do no work at all. In the past, we have seen firms pop up and take a lot of people's money by promising to settle their tax debt for pennies on the dollar, only to disappear or get shut down by the government without doing any work. If you followed my channel for a while, you know that we frequently talk about the offer and compromise, or OIC. The offer and compromise is a legitimate strategy for resolving your tax debt, but shady companies, often known as offer mills, tend to oversell the benefits of the OIC and underdeliver on the promise. I always tell taxpayers to make sure the person who's pitching you on the offer and compromise is an actual tax professional, not simply a salesperson working for an offer mill. Nothing wrong with salespeople, but you got to make sure that the person giving you advice knows what they're talking about. Number 10, fake payments with repayment demands. This is a new one on me. But in this scheme, the con artist files a fake tax return using your real information and has a bogus refund deposited into your real bank account. The crook then calls you pretending to be from the IRS and demands that you return the bogus refund plus penalties and interest or risk criminal prosecution. The taxpayer is told to use a specific type of gift card, prepaid card, or Western Union to pay the scammer. Insisting on a specific payment method like this should be a dead giveaway. This is a scam. Number 11 is frivolous tax arguments. Promoters of frivolous schemes encourage taxpayers to make unreasonable and outlandish claims about the legality of paying taxes. Some of these crazy arguments include that only employees who have to file taxes are the ones who work for the federal government, that the income tax is voluntary, so you don't have to pay it if you don't want to. Completing a tax return violates your right against self-incrimination. And finally, the last one, you can refuse to pay taxes on religious grounds. Oh, wait, and for good measure, the 16th Amendment was never ratified, so there's no income tax. All of these are frivolous arguments. They'll go nowhere. I've heard them all over the years. The tax court has ruled on literally all of these. They've all been to court. So don't let anyone convince you to go along with a frivolous tax argument. The penalties can be extremely high, and ultimately you're going to lose that battle. Last but not least is an oldie but goodie, claiming someone else's dependence on your tax return. This is an old trick that never seems to go away. Want a larger refund this year? Just find someone who didn't work this year and claim their 4 kids on your tax return. Voila, big fat refund, right? Wrong. The IRS has been on to this trick, and they've got methods in place to detect it and big time penalties to punish it when you get caught. If the IRS concludes that you knowingly claimed a false dependent, the civil penalty is 20%. Claiming a false dependent could also result in 3 years in jail and fines up to $250,000. Just don't do it. Trying to game the system to get a larger refund is just as likely to get you hit with penalties and a mountain of tax debt. Now, speaking of tax debt, if you owe the IRS, if you owe back taxes to the state or the IRS, I want you to know that there are special programs in place to help you get a fresh start and to get out from under this tax debt. But how do you know if you qualify? You see, no 2 cases are exactly alike. So how do you know exactly how much you can settle for? Well, lucky for you, I've created a free tool just to help you get qualified for a fresh start. Just go over to www.LEVY-KING.com or click on the link below. Follow the prompts and answer a few simple questions, and we'll help you figure out your eligibility. That website again is www.LEVY-KING.com. Or you can give us a call at 1-877-LEVY-KING. That number, 1-877-LEVY-KING. Well, that's it for this week, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.
1-877-LEVY-KING, LEVYKING.com.